The tow company pull a fast one.
Did he say that he didn't have your car?
They absolutely said they did not have my vehicle. They sold my vehicle.
This is Judge Judy. Reginald King is suing tow company manager Mark Mathis for the value of his car and property after his vehicle was illegally towed.
Judge, this is case number 153 on the calendar in the matter of King versus Mathis. Parties have been sworn in. Have a seat, sir.
Thanks, Bert. Mr. King.
Yes, Your Honor.
You parked your car on December 17th of 2020, and when you came out to get it, either that day or the next day, the car was gone. Where had you parked it?
I parked it in the front of my residence, in front of a commercial parking space that's utilized for commercial businesses.
Show me a picture of where you parked it.
And my vehicle was parked exactly where this Honda Accord would be parked at.
Show me exactly, make a mark where your car was.
I'll give you a bigger picture, Your Honor. Right here where this car is parked is where my vehicle was parked at.
And where do you live?
I live inside the gated community here where townhouses are. Inside of our gated community, there's restrictions.
Just a second, Mr. King. What time did you park your car there?
My car had been parked there since that morning.
When did you come out and see that it was no longer parked there?
I took my daughter to the airport around 11. I went and took my vehicle and retrieved some keys. And then I took her to the airport. Once I came back that evening, probably around 6 o'clock, I noticed my vehicle wasn't there because it just had gotten dark.
So you had parked there for about 7 hours?
Correct.
Where had you gone in the morning before 11 o'clock?
Right around that time, I pulled my car, my son's vehicle, actually. I pulled it into that parking space. So I normally park it on the street.
Why? I
had my taco cart, and I had other personal belongings that I wanted to make sure it was secure, or someone would be able to see it if someone would try to steal it or break into it. So I didn't take my taco cart out of the vehicle because I was hosting my daughters that weekend, and we had a taco party that weekend.
Are you allowed to park there?
Yes.
Does it say parking for people who are using the retail businesses only?
It's for both our residents and for retail businesses that are there in front. It's a barbershop there. It's also an insurance company there.
Well, I see if there are other shops there, but there's no sign there. I only see a blue sign over in the corner that looks like a handicap sign.
Yes, ma'am.
But other than that, there are no signs that...
It's unrestricted parking, Your Honor.
And were you blocking anybody in?
No, my vehicle was bagged in to the rear gate was facing the barbershop. Because I had
what do you mean a rear gate where it was facing a barbershop? I don't understand.
I backed in my truck where the front of the truck was facing the street, and then the rear gate was bagged in. I actually bagged the vehicle in.
But right in front of that store?
Correct.
Where it looks like a Honda is parked now?
That would be correct.
Okay. And you, sir, own a towing company, or do you work for...
I work for the towing company.
And according to your answer, because what happened here is your towing company towed his car.
Correct.
And is your claim that you towed it as a result of getting a call and his car was illegally parked, which you'll tell me about
That is
in a
correct.
moment.
His vehicle, it was unauthorized to be on that property. The security company that patrols that property had called us to remove that vehicle.
Let me see the message. Do you have the message?
Here's the impound slip with the security company and their signature authorizing the removal.
Did you physically remove the car?
No, the driver, Hector, did.
Okay. I'd like to ask him a question. Would you have him step up, please? Hector, what is your last name, sir?
Echeverria.
Mr. Echeverria, do you remember back to December 17th, 2019 when you towed?
Yes.
I want you to be clear. Don't say you remember if you don't.
No,
you do remember
I remember
that.
being there that day, yes.
When you got there, approximately what time did you arrive at the location where the plaintiff's car was parked?
I must have got there about 6:40, 6:45, around that time.
In the evening?
Yes.
Did you see any reason that his car would have been towed?
Well, I mean, when I got there with security, usually from my understanding...
No, don't look at me. Look at me, Mr. Echeverria.
Okay.
Don't tell me usually, don't tell me basically, don't tell me what somebody else told you. Did you see any reason when you looked at the car and looked where it was parked for the car to be towed?
Yes, because he wasn't a customer for the stores.
So what you're saying was the people who were parking there were supposed to be shopping in those stores?
From my understanding, yes.
But there was no sign that you saw that said that.
There was a sign at the entrance of the property.
That says what?
Private property.
Where's a picture of that?
I don't have a picture.
So the answer is, other than the fact that your company was called by a security company that monitors that space, there was no other, I mean, he wasn't blocking another car. He was parked there, and if it were either open or closed at the time, there would not have been any reason to move his car.
Well, I'm not sure what the rules are there for that property.
You're not sure?
Well, I mean,
you were just given a job to do.
Right.
You were just given a job to do to
Yes.
tow that car.
Yes.
And it was easy to tow. It wasn't blocking anybody else. It wasn't parked in 3 spots. It was just parked in one space,
Right.
backed into one space.
Right.
Okay. Now you can sit down, Mr.
Thank you.
Echeverria. Thank you. Okay. Now, Mr. King, so your car was not there when you came back on the 17th. I'd like to see the police report that you have from the 17th reporting a stolen car.
And, Your Honor, I do not have that police report. I had a whole entire file, and I was remiss in not bringing the actual file when I originally sued Mr. C's. I went to the police station in Lakewood. I contacted first Mr. C's Towing at 9:55 p.m.
Just a second. That evening, you contacted the towing company.
That would be very correct.
Oh, interesting. So that evening, you contacted the towing company, and you contacted the towing company. You knew to contact the towing company, Mr. King, because there had to have been a sign there that says parking for customers only. Unauthorized vehicles will be towed by Mr. C's towing company.
No, the sign is...
Let's just process what I said.
Yes, ma'am.
I wouldn't know to contact Mr. C's towing company. The first thing I would say is somebody stole my car. So now you can tell me what prompted you to call Mr. C's towing company.
As you enter our residence, and as it describes, our residence is private property. It's a gated community. Inside, there's restrictions for parking for exclusively residents only. So my first indication, since the car was missing, was I asked the gentleman that owns the barbershop, did you see something happen today with my car? He doesn't recall.
Don't tell me what anybody else told you, sir.
Absolutely. I looked at the gate. I retrieved Mr. C's telephone number.
Just a second. That's exactly what I said. You saw his name on a sign that had a restricted parking signature on it. And my sense is, Mr. King, that you knew you weren't supposed to park there.
Not correct, Your Honor.
My sense is my sense is you knew you weren't.
I think I may not have done a good job explaining it, Your Honor.
Maybe not. But on the same day that your car was towed, you called him. And did he say that he didn't have your car?
They absolutely said they did not have my vehicle. And here's the proof.
Do you know who you spoke to?
Their dispatch.
Okay, I'd like to see proof of that.
Right here, Your Honor. You see that on December 17th, my telephone, I made a call to Mr. C's at 323, and they can validate that's their accurate number.
Well, it was an accurate number, and you were on the phone for 1 minute with them.
Correct.
And if I were to call that number, I would get dispatch.
That would be correct.
And in 1 minute, you said, did you tow my car, a Chevy Blazer, and whatever? And dispatch said no.
Yeah, I gave them the address. I gave them a description of the vehicle, and they informed me that they had no tows from that address.
And you called them at what time?
At 9:55 p.m., Your Honor.
Okay. So then you filed a report of a stolen car.
Correct.
Did you ever call Mr. C's back again?
Not until they contacted me in March demanding payment for storage after they sold my vehicle in a vehicle lien sale.
Okay. Now, I'm coming back to you, Mr. Mathis. Mr. Mathis, I'd like to see your paperwork on the notices that you sent to Mr. King.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Now-
First notice. Let's go with notice number 1.
Here is the notice that after 72 hours, we have an outside company come in to process our lien sales. Here's the notice that is sent to all the registered and legal owners.
No.
Okay, what-
Don't tell me that's somebody else. That's somebody else's document. That's not your company's document.
Oh,
Is
no.
that right?
That is correct.
I want to see Mr. C's first notice to the plaintiff that you towed his car.
We hire an outside company to process all of that paperwork.
Okay, very good. Then you're going to pay him for his car.
I don't
Because
believe
you
so.
don't have the evidence.
No, I do.
Oh, yes, you are. Oh, yes, you are. Show me. The fact that you give it to an outside company that you don't have here, you can't show me paperwork from an outside company.
Why
you
not?
can show me paperwork from your company. Why not? Because it's hearsay.
Because
it's
this
hearsay.
is a legal
if you're
document.
No, it's not a legal document,
It's
sir.
not a legal
document. It was filed by some... No, listen to me. You have to have the person here so that I can grill them exactly like I'm grilling you.
Would you like their number?
As to, do I want their number?
Yeah, he's in San Diego.
Like you brought Hector, not yeah.
Yeah.
Just like you brought Hector.
Yeah, that
Mr.
was
Mathis,
probably a mistake,
you
huh?
bring...
Your Honor.
Oh, you're such an idiot.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today,
This truck is going down the hill with no drivers in it.
Now show me the damage. So he went in there. Oh,
Yes. So this picture is showing all.
Reginald King says Mark Mathis's tow company illegally towed his car and then sold it.
anyway, listen to me. The value of your car clean is $2,000. I just looked it up. That's the average clean price for a 2004 Chevy Blazer. So $5,000 is not in the ballpark, sir. You say that there were things that were in the car. One of the things that you say was in the car was a taco cart.
Correct.
And the taco cart you say you had in the car because you had had a party for your daughter. I'd like to see a photograph of that cart, and I'm not entertaining anything about your son's golf clubs. What is that?
That is a taco cart. It is big enough for me to cook 50 pounds of meat.
I don't think that's going to fit inside of a Trailblazer.
I'm not asking you a question. There's not a question
Yes,
before
ma'am.
you. That's a piece of metal. That doesn't look like it collapses.
It absolutely does comes off. The top portion
Very
here
good.
is very
Very
heavy.
good. I'm not giving you any money for a taco cart, sir. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very good. I'm not giving you money for a taco cart. The Chevy Blazer, the average clean price for a Chevy Blazer is $2,000. Judgment for the plaintiff. We're done. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. This definitely was an illegal tow.
I think everything was done legally,
I've had incidents with Mr. C's
and he shouldn't receive any payment.
on a few occasions of them being aggressive,
100% legal.
coming in, attempting to tow vehicles without security.
Business as usual.
It was legally parked and illegally towed.
All parties in the matter of Kacharian versus Hubbard. Step to the podium, please.
Neshan Nick Kacharian is suing his neighbor, Steve Hubbard, for damage to his property after Steve's truck rolled down a hill and into his front yard.
Mr. Hubbard, I'm going to start with you because there really is no issue in this case as to fault and responsibility. The only issue in this case is damages. Because from what I understand from both of you, you both own your own property in California, and your property is slightly elevated from the plaintiff's property. And on September 22nd of this year, you were doing something with an old truck that belongs to you, and either you were towing it or, according to you, the brake failed, and the truck rolled down the road and stopped in the plaintiff's yard. The plaintiff says that your truck caused damage to his landscape, to have the truck towed out of his yard, which the tow truck caused further damage to a landscaped home that he said was extensive. So you explain to me, Mr. Hubbard, why, if he can prove to me that the insurance company paid him for the damage, but he had a $1,000 deductible so that he could redo the lawn and redo the planting beds, why you're not responsible for that.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Did you have insurance on this car?
No,
Did they
I didn't. I didn't have it. There was no reason to. Nothing happened.
What do you mean nothing happened?
Nothing happened to his bush. Nothing happened to the tree. Nothing happened to anything.
Oh, you're just a fool. Didn't you see the photographs?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Neshan Nick Kacharian says his front yard was damaged when a truck owned by neighbor Steve Hubbard rolled down a hill and onto his property.
So you explain to me, Mr. Hubbard, why, if he can prove to me that the insurance company paid him for the damage, but he had a $1,000 deductible so that he could redo the lawn and redo the planting beds. Why you're not responsible for that?
That was done to the car was nothing at all.
It was nothing. So you're saying to me that he committed insurance fraud.
Correct.
Okay. So now, sir, you show me photographs of the damage to your property. I'm sure you took a series of photographs when his truck was on your property.
Correct.
I'm sure you did.
Correct.
Right. I'd like to see them.
Should I show you all the pictures?
Just show me them. Yeah.
Or just the
Well,
damage?
start with the best ones.
This truck is going down the hill with no drivers in it.
Good. That's the truck. Okay. Now show me the damage. So he went in there. Right. Now, did he go in between the... Oh, I see he
Neighbor
took
side.
down trees.
This is from the neighbor's side.
Okay, so that's going through your yard and going through those
Neighbor's wall.
boxwood trees.
Correct.
But are the boxwood trees yours?
Yes.
No.
So this
they're not.
picture is showing almost hit the neighbor's garage wall. It's only 3 feet away because of the weight of the truck.
That's the neighbor's garage.
Correct.
Okay, next picture.
Okay. This open, huge, wide
Hey, he
open
went through,
space.
he took down a...
Huge, wide
he
open space.
Did... No, what I'm telling you is you can see clearly that he went through the bushes on your house.
Right.
Got it. Next.
That's it.
That's it. And indicating to you how much they're paying you.
Correct. I do.
I'd like to see it. Now let me see the bill from your landscaper.
I did not apply for the landscaping until finalized. In a second.
It's an estimate. It's not a bill.
Right. Hold on.
Show me. Just show me.
I will.
Okay. Demo damaged area. Repair brickwork. Replace 10 to 15 Potsodium dwarf. Where is a 24-inch box pygmy palm? Is that the dead palm?
No.
Well, show me which one he killed. I see the bushes. That's clear.
On
I
this,
just want to see the picture of it.
right. On this image, it was a small one, okay, that was damaged underneath these bushes, but it's not talking the big one. The big one, I understand, because of the wind that is, so killed. But I'm talking the small one. It's not showing the exactly by zooming the small plant. Now, the only thing I'm claiming for $380, the difference from high bushes, $880. Insurance company covered only $500.
That's too bad.
Captioning sponsored by. Want justice? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Okay, now, Mr. Hubbard, do you have homeowner's insurance?
Yes, I do.
Or did you have insurance on this car?
No,
Did they
I didn't. I didn't
attempt-
have it. There was no reason to. Nothing happened.
What do you mean nothing happened?
Nothing happened to his bush. Nothing happened to the tree. Nothing happened to anything.
Oh, you're just a fool. Didn't you see the photographs? Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,000. We're finished. Goodbye.
Your Honor.
Goodbye.
Your Honor, may I ask you a
Goodbye.
question?
We're done. No, nothing. We're done.
This case is concluded. Parties are excused.
And on the next Judge Judy.
What do you think that I think that you did to her car?
I was going over there to get my payment. I had no motivation to scratch your car.
Pay careful attention, sir. You're not as smart.
Judge Judy.
I noticed Mr. Hubbard coming down the hill and explain what he tried to do, tried to pull the truck with another car.
The brake went out and it took off down the street by itself. No control.
And the rope snapped and rolling down the hill with no driver in it.
I walked after it. I didn't have to run. I walked.
So no one got killed or had a collision with another vehicle.
Yes, I was very lucky.
He accepts 100%, responsibility.
I'm lucky it didn't go through the neighbor's door, front garage.
No more truck in the house.
Nothing. Nobody got hurt. Nobody got killed. Nothing happened to anybody.
You're never supposed to make a decorating decision.
I've been told that many times.
A husband's design sense made no sense.
Mr. Miso said, you pick out the materials. And when his wife saw, she said it looked awful.
Now they're coming after the contractor.
I obviously made a poor decision.
Mr. Miso knows he's wrong, but you're the pro.
This is Judge Judy. Paul and Carol Misso are suing contractor John Sterling for a refund for a bar he never finished building.
Judge, this is case number 135 on the calendar in the matter of Misso versus Sterling. Parties have been sworn in.
Mr. and Mrs. Misso, you hired the defendant to build a bar in your home, correct?
That's correct.
Who's going to speak initially for the two of you?
I'll speak initially, but Carol will add some comments.
And the total purchase price was $7,900.
That's correct.
And that was for labor and materials.
Yes.
On what date did you give him a first payment?
First payment was of $2,400 on November 28th, 2018.
Okay, and when was the next payment?
The next payment for $2,900 was January 15th, 2019.
When did the defendant start work on the project?
I don't know exactly the date that he started work.
Tell me what date you started work, Mr. Sterling.
It was early December. As we got materials into the shop, I think first week of December.
Okay, and Mr. Misso, how did you find the defendant?
Very pleasant. We were referred to Mr.
No, how did you find him? By reference.
I actually find him very pleasant still. We were referred to Mr. Sterling by our realtors, and they had apparently referred prior clients to him.
Had you just bought your home?
Yes. It was we had moved from another area in the neighborhood and bought a home about 5 years old, and we wanted to renovate it a little bit.
But you were already living in the home.
That is correct.
Prior to giving him the initial money, the $2,400, did you prepare a sketch or show him a photograph of what you wanted?
Yeah.
Can I see?
Well, first
May I see it, please?
As the woman steps in.
Don't just sec. Hello? No, this is not stepping in time. Stepping in is when I ask you a question.
Okay.
Right now, all I want to see is the photograph or sketch that the defendant prepared.
So this is the entertainment center that we were attempting to match.
It's a better one.
All right, so this is the photograph, Mr. Misso, of the piece of furniture that you wanted to be aligned with the bar that you wanted him to build.
Correct. It was, if I could switch the picture, you can kind of see what we were talking about. That's the same unit, and the room extends further down and against the same wall, and beyond that little divider is where the bar was intended to be.
I see, and there is something there.
Correct. That is what's been delivered.
That's what was delivered that had not been there before.
Correct.
You'll show me another picture of that later.
Absolutely, when you ask for it.
Don't get ahead of yourself.
Okay.
So it was supposed to match that and be complementary to that. Did Mr. Sterling give you an approximate amount that he would be spending for materials?
I don't remember a breakdown of that.
Did you have a breakdown, Mr. Sterling? How much for labor and how much for materials?
It wasn't all that detailed, but the initial payment was to cover materials.
So the $2,400 was to cover materials?
Yes.
And the $2,900 was your labor?
That covered a down payment on the paint and some of the shop labor to that point.
Mr. Sterling?
Yes.
Mr. Sterling, I'm going to ask you for receipts for all the materials that you purchased. I just want you to be aware of the fact I'm going to ask you for receipts from all the materials that you furnished for this project.
I understand.
I certainly hope you have them.
I don't.
Okay, good. Well, that would be a mistake. That's your business.
You're correct.
This is your business, because what happened is they want their money back. They paid you over $5,000, and they say that what you delivered was wholly inadequate. And I'm going to take a look at the pictures. If I look at the pictures and it looks to me like tacky stuff, that means you got paid $5,000 and you just increased your labor cost. So you should have bills for what you spent so that you can decipher whether or not you gave him quality or you gave him schlock. So now what I would like to see, because I quite understand your defense. I mean, I don't necessarily agree with it, but I understand it, that Mr. Misso, according to you, said you pick out the materials, and you did. And when his wife saw what you had picked out, she went crazy, and she said it looked awful. And you said, I had your husband's go-ahead, and he at this time is trying to find a corner to hide in. because he wasn't getting in between you and his wife. And if he had to pick somebody, he was going to pick her side. It's not a hard scenario. That's why you should have the receipts for what you spent. Got it?
Correct.
You know, I've been married for a long time. I know about, well, he said I could do that. What? You know, where can I go and hide? Do you understand, Mr. Miso?
I understand.
Yes.
I do.
I know you understand. I knew you got it as soon as you walked in. Now I'm going to see a picture of this piece of furniture that he delivered.
I'd show that first.
Did you want to see the drawing first that Mr. Sterling had prepared?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yes, I got ahead of myself. Let me see the drawing. Got it. It looks very, very much like, and it's beautiful. It's actually lovely. The bottom part of that, by the way, just the bottom part without the top fixture, looks very much like a bathroom vanity. I mean, it's completed, and it depends upon the finishing.
Right. So
it looks lovely. And in the middle of that, are you going to have water, or it's just going to be a dry bar?
A dry bar.
A dry bar, consistent with the other piece that you had there. Great. Now can I see a photograph of what he delivered?
Yes. And if I can show what
is in the other boxes?
I assume those are, we have not opened them, but we presume they are the two refrigerators.
Wine refrigerators.
Wine refrigerator and
What
a small.
are they?
They're the wine refrigerators they ordered.
Where are they supposed to go?
If you look in the original drawing, you have a center section on the lower that's storage, and the two outboard on that drawing shows you the wine refrigerators.
I'm switching back for.
So it's just the center panel that was delivered?
It was the lower section and the refrigerators so that I could get the granite guy to come in and drop a top on.
But you were going to have to build the sides once they put the refrigerator part in.
No, the side panels for the refrigerators are there. They're in the picture.
Let me see. Could you put the sketch in such a way that I can look at both the sketch and what he delivered?
I have pictures of the other cabinets, too, that did not get delivered.
Side panels. What's supposed to be on side panels that's different from?
It's just it's a finished end panel that is constructed the same as the doors. So it looks basically like a door on the end of the cabinet.
Are those supposed to be drawers? They look like drawers on top that I don't see.
Yes.
Where are the drawers?
They're right there above the doors. They just don't have handles on them yet.
They just don't have handles on them?
Yes.
Okay. Now, Mr. Miso.
Yes.
What is it that you didn't like about what he delivered?
It was, actually, if I can take you back to the first communication that we had, and I'll put that up, and I just need the camera to hone in on the yellow, it's simply stated, we moved into a new home, and we'd like to get a bar built that matches our entertainment center.
Forget it, Mr. Miso. My organization, I asked you a very simple question. I looked at the sketch. I looked at this. I see what's there. I see that you had a disagreement with him, but I want to know what I looked at the sketch.
Yeah, that it didn't look like this.
That's not what they asked for.
You mean it was the color? Just a second. The color is what you were objecting to. It was supposed to be a different color. Yeah. Now show me a picture of the... Don't look at her. Don't look at her, Mr. Miso. That's the problem. Do you understand that's the problem? I'm not looking at her either. What color, Mr. Miso, is the other piece that you showed him that you wanted to match?
I would call it
is that piece?
I would call it...
No, show it to me.
Oh, show it to you?
Show it to me.
There you go.
Show it to me again. No, not that piece. Is that the piece in the other room?
Yes. Sorry.
I want to see the piece in the other room.
There we go.
The photograph. The photograph. Okay, so what you're objecting to is that what he delivered was stark white, and this has a more finished, textured look. Is that what you're talking about?
A couple things. One is that it is a stark white, but it does. If you feel the wood, it's a very different. Yes.
Listen, he didn't specify the wood in your contract. You didn't have a specification of wood.
We did
but
specify
those two
wood
items,
and paint.
If it was to match, oh, really? Mr. Misu, what color is that?
I would call
Just
that...
think before you act.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
They showed you what color they wanted. That is not white. What you delivered to them was a white. I mean, you're the pro. You're the pro.
Paul and Carol Miso say contractor John Sterling failed to deliver a finished bar they hired him to build for their family room.
Now, what color is that original piece that you wanted him to complement in the new bar?
An off-white.
What color is that?
An off-white color.
An off-white. Okay. And what color would you describe what he delivered?
White.
Okay. Now, did you ever have a conversation with him or approve a paint finish, a paint color?
I did.
Did you? I'm asking you.
I did.
And what color did you approve?
I said that it was okay to go with white.
And that's what he did.
That's correct.
That's what he did. So the customer gave him the color. Now, I wouldn't do that, and I know, Mr. Miso, you will never do that again. White is not an answer. Mr. Sterling.
Yes.
I'm coming back to you, sir.
Yes.
Just, I want you to know that Mr. Miso knows he's wrong. He just had to choose between which one was going to be beheaded. But you're the pro. They showed you what color they wanted. That is not white. What you delivered to them was a white. I mean, you're the pro. You're the pro. So if you're the pro and you say, listen, do you want to match that color, or do you want to go as close to that color as we can?
The contract does not specify matching the other cabinet. The contract specifies Swiss Coffee Kelly-Moore paint. That's what the contract specifies. The contract does not specify matching another cabinet.
They showed you this cabinet, Mr. Sterling, did they not?
Yes.
I'm not asking about the contracts. I'm asking you whether they showed you this cabinet.
Yes, I saw that cabinet.
And did they not say to, just a second, did they not say to you, let's be very honest with each other, just as Mr. Miso has been honest with me today, did they not say to you that they wanted it to be a complement to this cabinet?
Complimentary, yes.
Yes. And you're the professional. Now,
well, it's...
I am a trained lawyer, and I try to do something, they call it a decorator. But I would never put stark white as a professional next to oak. I would say, listen, before you say you can go with white, why don't you talk to the missus? Why don't I make you a paint board so that you can take a look and see what color you want? As the professional, Mr. Sterling, that's what I would do.
Well, it's what I offered to do.
And so I'm surprised. Did you?
Yeah.
Offer to do a paint board? Did you? Good for you. And is that when he said to you, you can go with white?
No, I offered to make samples or get things ready for them, and I said, you have things to match. We can match the existing cabinet that you have. And I don't know what that finish is. That's a bought product. I said, we have to take that down, have that color matched. You have another color here in the house.
And you were talking to Mr. Miso. You were talking to Mr. Miso.
Yes.
Okay, so... And you don't deny that you had this conversation with him? I believe him.
I did not have that conversation.
That had to be a conversation. Well, when did you tell him you can go with white?
When we were looking at, we were in the family room, living room combination there, and asked what color, and I obviously made a poor decision. But there was no color palette to pick from. I mean, the...
No. I pick from. I said, he says that he told you when you were having that conversation in the living room. By the way, were you living in the house when you were having that conversation? Yes. Is there a TV in the living room?
In the family room next to it, yes.
Is that where you were having the conversation with him about the color? Mr. Misu?
Yes.
Is that where you were having the conversation, in the family room?
Yes.
Was the TV on or off?
TV was off, I believe.
Yeah.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You see, when people ask me questions about things, you know what my response is? I'm a television personality. Speak to an expert. You're never supposed to make a decorating decision.
I've been told that.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Paul and Carol Miso claim contractor John Sterling owes for a refund for a family room bar he never completed.
Okay, listen, you have a contract?
The color I painted that cabinet is the color of their trim in the house. That's where I came up with that color. I didn't pull that out of the air. It matches the color of the trim in their house. That's where I got the color.
But you don't do a piece of furniture to match trim.
Sometimes we do,
I have
yes.
a lot of houses. I have a lot of houses. I never saw a piece of furniture like that, a wall in an opening, as something that you're trying to complement that is so clearly not a complementary color. Listen, you have a contract. You use the kind of paint that was in the contract. I don't think that there's a discrepancy about that. It was the color. The color is off. The bottom part of it matches the sketch that we showed. It does have 4 parts. It has drawers. He said the side panels are there. The color is off. I absolutely, completely understand why your wife is beside herself with the white color. I absolutely understand that, but that's not his fault. Mr. Misu, that's on you. That's on you. What do you do for a living?
I'm an operations manager.
You see, when people ask me questions about things, you know, they'll say, what do you think about whether we should use this material for the pool or use this material for the sliding glass doors? You know what my response is? I'm a television personality. I have no idea about that. Speak to an expert. You're never supposed to make a decorating decision.
I've been told that many times.
So, but you can't blame Mr. Sterling for that, and you can't ask for all the money back, because he did, in fact, buy, even though he doesn't have all the receipts, he did, in fact, buy whatever, the refrigerator, and it's all there. He did, in fact, deliver the center part. Who stopped the work? Did you tell him to stop the work?
Carol asked me not to come back till she discussed things with her husband.
Yes.
Okay, well, now just a second. So right now, he will complete this bar for you, and you have to pay him the balance of the $7,900. If you don't have, because he seems like a very nice man, and his responses to me were totally consistent with a reasonable contractor.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Closed captioning sponsored by... Want justice? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Okay, now, in this case, it's the customer's problem. It's the customer's fault. You can either come to an accommodation with him where he'll finish the job, and if you want to change the color, I'm sure that that will be an additional cost if you change the color, or not. But you're not getting your money back from him. That's clear. So if your husband says he's a very nice guy, he still thinks he's a nice guy, and I actually agree with that.
Thank you.
Although, very bad judgment to deal with somebody who's an operations manager, somebody who may or may not be happy with white.
I interview my clients much better now.
Good. Your case is dismissed. Either talk nice to him, or you're going to have to eat the $5,000. We're finished. Thank you very much. Case dismissed.
Thank you.
This case is concluded. Parties are excused.
And on the next Judge Judy.
We've been ghosted for 18 months or more than 18 months by the defendant.
I couldn't really get a straight answer of where the finish line was.
I very much would like to just get my money back and go to someone that I can trust.
I'd like to move on. Whatever needs to be done will be done.
I'd like the bar built.
I'm glad the case is resolved.
A tenant's move-out went by the book.
At the end of the walkthrough, I said, is everything okay? He said, everything looks fine.
Then the landlord rewrote the rules.
I told her I'd be back to reassess it.
When somebody isn't telling me the truth, the hair on the back of my neck stands up. Did you point out any problems to her?
No, I didn't.
You can't come into court and think that the judge is stupid.
This is Judge Judy. Val Massant and Elizabeth Saldias are wrongfully withholding her security deposit.
Judges, case number 60 on the calendar in the matter of McLemore versus Saldias. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated.
Miss McLemore, you and your roommate were tenants of the defendants for 3 years. That's what I read.
Yes, ma'am.
Was this a private house?
Yes, it was.
How large a home was it?
2 bedrooms, 1 bath. It was fairly small.
And where do the defendants live? Do they live close by or far away?
Well, I don't know exactly where they live, but as far as I know, Oildale.
About how far is that from the rental property?
About maybe 15 miles.
And the first year that you lived there, you had a 1-year lease?
Yes, ma'am. And after that, there was
And then
we were just on a 30-day.
It converted to a month-to-month.
Right.
You want your security deposit back.
Yes, ma'am.
You lived there for 3 years. According to you, you paid your rent on time.
Yes, ma'am.
You have a $900 security deposit. You were supposed to get it back.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you do a walkthrough at the end of your lease?
Yes, ma'am. I did a walkthrough with Mr. Saldias.
Mr. Saldias, did Miss McLemore and you conduct a walkthrough at the termination of her lease?
I conducted a quick walkthrough, and I told her I'd be back to reassess it.
I don't care whether it was quick or took 24 hours. Did anything prevent you from having a longer...
My wife stated that they were ready to turn over the keys, so I took a drive to that side of town and did a quick walkthrough with them and told them I would be...
Listen, Saldias, understand this. I asked you a question. My question was, did anybody prevent you from doing a longer walkthrough?
No.
And when you did the walkthrough with the plaintiff, did you point out any problems to her?
Well, there were some obvious issues.
No, I want you to... I don't care whether there are obvious issues. I asked you whether you told or wrote down anything that you found that was a damage, whether you either told her verbally or wrote down someplace on that date, the date of the walkthrough, any negative thing that you found. Let's start quickly. Did you write it down?
No, I didn't.
Well, you're a landlord. You're supposed to write it down and give her a copy of the walkthrough.
I didn't know that was due at that particular moment. I thought there was 30 days that...
Well, what did you tell her that you found that was wrong with the house?
Well, I sent her an itemized list.
What did you tell her that I'm going to believe? When did you send her an itemized list? The question is when. Date.
When they vacated, there was an itemized list. Let me pull it here.
Give me the date that you sent her an itemized March. Is that correct?
Correct.
What date did you send her an itemized list?
4/20/2020.
Well, 4/20 is 3 weeks later. Had she already made a demand for the return of her security? Of course she did. Right. And after she made a demand for her security back, you said, well, this is what I found wrong. My question to you, Mr. Saldias, is on the date of the walkthrough, which was what date?
I believe it was around the 12th of the month.
12th of March.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're saying, Mr. Saldias, is over a month later, you sent her a list of things that you found wrong. You didn't tell her anything on March 12th when you did the walkthrough.
I asked him. At the end of the walkthrough, I said, is everything okay? He said, everything looks fine. I said, well, how long will it be before I get my security deposit back? And he said, should be 2 or 3 days, shouldn't be long at all. Well, I waited 3 weeks before I made a phone.
Just a second. Mr. Saldias, I want you to be very careful with your answer to me. Do you remember Miss McLemore saying to you, does everything look okay?
I don't remember.
Do you remember that? That's a question.
I don't remember that specific wording, but...
I want to tell you something. Before you start fumfering around, I have a ray truth. The hair on the back of my neck stands up. Do you understand?
Yes.
Did Miss McLemore say to you, does everything look okay?
There were some items there that Miss McLemore and her roommate at the time, which I don't recognize the other lady here as being the roommate that was there when we rented to her, had pointed out to me. And I've got evidence of that, of some of the repairs that needed to take place.
I don't care whether there were any repairs that had to take place. You're the landlord. I asked you a simple question. Did Miss McLemore say to you, does everything look okay? When can I get my security back? And you said 2-3 days.
At that time.
Do you remember that?
I do remember that. At that time.
Okay.
He actually gave me a hug.
Just a second. So now you remember it.
They weren't bad tenants, but at the time that they were leaving, the yard wasn't done. I have pictures to show you. It cost us money to get those things done.
Just a second. If you are alleging that between the 12th and the time they moved out, which was the end of March, they caused some sort of damage to the property, I will look at that. Do you understand? I will also look at the bills that it took.
The other thing I'd like to point...
remedy whatever they did.
Okay. The other thing I'd like to point out is...
So now...
From the time that they provided the 30-day notice and the time that they vacated...
Okay. I'm going to get to that in a minute. Okay. Right now I'm talking about damage. Then I'm going to get to the 13 days that you are alleging they should pay you for because they gave you 30-day notice on April 12th, so you want to charge them for that rent. I'll get to that in a minute, Mr. Saldias.
Okay.
I want to see photographs of what you allege is the damage that they left when they left and receipts to fix it.
First off, there was I didn't notice it on the initial walkthrough, but there was window screens that were missing. I found 2 of them located in the garage that were beyond repair. There was a total of 4 of them. This is the cost to get those items repaired.
That's a problem for you.
Okay.
You should have noticed it. Take the statement, which I don't buy anyway. Next.
That is the 30-day. They could have never done the walkthrough on the 12th.
Next.
This is a 30-day that she provided, which clearly shows the date, and she could not have done the walkthrough on the 12th. If you see the documents dated the 13th, and that's in her handwriting.
Oh, okay, so that's the 13th. So
Yeah,
I asked you, what date did you do the walkthrough?
Do you remember?
After. It was
I asked you what... Just a second. Do you understand? The first thing I asked you for was damages. I'm going to see what are the damages. First thing is nonsense. I don't even believe that.
Well,
and bills.
They say a picture's worth 1,000 words. Here, let me get to the pictures.
That's what I would like to see.
Also,
and then the bills.
Also, the plaintiff alleged that we had rented the premises because a friend of mine allowed us to put a travel trailer on the property.
Listen to me. Don't try to get me off track. I don't get off track.
Well, no, but that picture also displays...
Show me the damage that you are alleging.
In this photograph of the backyard, you can note the height of the yard. And as you know, grass doesn't grow that quick in 2 weeks.
So far, you owe them $900. Now we're going to get to your friend's trailer. What's your friend's name?
Gonzalez.
Where does he live?
In Bakersfield.
How long has he had this trailer?
At the time he had just purchased it.
Just a second. At what time?
At the time that it's...
Month. Mr. Saldias, you'll never get where I'm going. When did he purchase it? Month.
March.
I don't want you to say anything.
Okay.
Unless I'm looking at you and asking you a question. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
Now let's go back to Mr. Saldias. He purchased the trailer in March, correct? Is that what your wife just told me?
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
When did you find out that he had purchased the trailer?
Well, the date that he placed the trailer there is when he had purchased it.
That's not what he told me.
So he purchased it, just a second. So far?
So far.
He purchased it the same day you put it in the house.
Yes, he called me and he said he had purchased...
Because...
He had purchased a trailer and I
Go
asked
ahead.
him... He said, hey, can I put it on one of your properties on Wilson? And I said, better yet, I have a house that's on Chester that's available, and it would do me a favor so that the premises looked occupied. But he never took...
Great, that's what you told me. Just a second. That's what you told Mr. Gonzalez.
That is correct.
Is that right?
That is correct. Yes.
Now, how good a friend is Mr. Gonzalez?
Pretty good friend.
How good?
I mean, good enough to have done that favor for me. He didn't have to do it, you know.
He wasn't doing you a favor. You were doing him a favor.
Well, I mean...
Don't listen to me. You can't come into court and think that the judge is stupid and that...
I by no means think that you're stupid.
Very good. So he wasn't doing you a favor. You were either doing him a favor or charging him to park his trailer in the house.
Now,
which one is it? And then give me Mr. Gonzalez's...
Now you're
Then give me his phone number.
Now you're speculating, but...
Then give me his phone. Now give me Mr. Gonzalez's phone number.
Do you have a pen ready?
I do.
661.
You want to check that in your phone to make sure before I waste my time calling him?
Oh, there's no need to waste your
That's
time.
the right number?
You'll find that it's correct.
Very good. I don't believe that's the number.
3661.
You want to check your phone? You want to check your phone?
He's a good enough friend
Check
that
your
I know
phone.
his number, so...
That's the right number.
You have another number for him?
No.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Is Mr. Gonzalez's trailer still parked at the house?
No.
When did it move? Don't look at her. If you don't know the answer, look at me and say, I don't know the answer.
And later today,
Did your girlfriend have insurance on the car on that date?
I did not
Is not
realize-
an answer. The answer is either a car had insurance or it didn't have insurance.
Val McLemore is suing her former landlords, Vincent and Elizabeth Saldias, for the return of her security deposit.
Okay, is Mr. Gonzalez's trailer still parked at the house?
No.
When did it move?
Asking you.
Don't look at her. If you don't know the answer, look at me and say, I don't know the answer.
I don't know the answer. I know that it was moved off when the new
tenants take possession.
May 1st.
Now back to Mr. Saldias. When did move his trailer?
I don't remember the specific date.
Well, you started to say when the new tenant moved in. That would be May 1st. Don't look at her, look at me. That would be May 1st, because nobody wants to rent a house and pay rent when you have a huge trailer sitting there.
And nobody wants to squat in a house that believes there's people living in it as well.
You owe her security deposit. You may make a whole bunch of excuses. You can't make excuses here. She lived there for 3 years. You told her she would get her security deposit, and then you made up a whole bunch of excuses not to give it to her. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $900.
Your Honor,
that was your security deposit,
That's
correct?
it. Correct.
I'm not speaking to you. Correct?
Correct.
Judgment for the plaintiff. We're done. Thank you.
Case is concluded. Parties are excused.
I guess she found what she was looking for.
All my life, I've never, ever had to give back a security deposit.
I did a quick walkthrough at that time. I didn't really look at everything.
There was no rush. He was in no rush.
I wish everybody the best.
Bring your case to Judge Judy. She'll give you.
All parties in the matter of Smith versus Maxwell. Step to the podium, please.
James Smith is suing fellow motorist Gary Maxwell Jr. for backing into his car in a grocery store park.
That occurred in a parking lot on the 9th of September of this year.
Yes, ma'am. The 9th of September
The 9th.
this year.
What time of the day, sir?
It must have been about late afternoon, between 5:30 and 5:20.
What were the lighting conditions?
It was daylight.
Was it still light?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of car were you driving, sir?
A Nissan Frontier, 2019.
Which you had full coverage on, I assume.
Yes, ma'am.
Because you allege that the accident was caused by Mr. Maxwell's negligence.
Yes, ma'am.
Your insurance paid for it. We're going to find out why. But you had a $1,000 deductible, which came out of your pocket to fix the damage.
Yes.
Mr. Maxwell said that the accident was your fault. He didn't have any major damage to his vehicles, which is why he is not counterclaiming. Mr. Maxwell, what kind of car were you driving?
2008 Toyota Avalon.
Who owns that car?
My girlfriend, Debbie Antu.
Did your girlfriend have insurance on the car on that date?
I did not
Is
realize...
not an answer. The answer is either a car had insurance or it didn't have insurance.
No, ma'am. It had lapsed a couple days before.
Always a couple of days before. The check got lost in the mail. The dog ate the bill. The child flushed it down the toilet. There's always a assured car.
Correct.
That's going to make my job a whole lot easier. What was your girlfriend driving?
My girlfriend had just had shots in her neck. That's the reason I was driving.
Was she in the car with you?
She was.
Where were you coming from that day, sir?
Me, Mr. Smith, I was coming from Stater Brothers, and I was on my way to exit a parking lot, and I had some people in front of me that was shoppers, so I had to wait till they clear before I make my right-hand turn. And Mr. Maxwell, without paying attention...
Okay, so you were parked in a space, but people were walking in front of you.
No, I wasn't parked. I was already ready to make my right-hand turn. I was already out the...
You mean you were going out of the parking lot?
I was
Do you
trying
have
to
a diagram to show me?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
I'd like to see where your car was.
Okay.
That would be helpful to me. So I didn't understand it.
My car was
okay.
Right here, like the orange
Had
spot.
been parked where?
It was parked getting ready to make the right turn in front of Stater Brothers.
No.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He hit me, Your Honor.
No, he can't have hit you on the side of his car unless it was snowing and he skidded into you. He skidded into you sideways. It didn't look like it was snowing.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. James Maxwell Jr. for backing into his car in a grocery store parking lot.
Okay, Mr. Smith, had your car been parked in the parking lot?
Yes, it has.
show me which spot. Is the spot where you were parked?
I was parked by right here, like the second parking spot right here.
Okay, so you pulled out of the parking spot and you were ready to exit the parking lot.
Yes, ma'am. And Mr. Maxwell.
And is there just a second, is what you're telling me the defendant was parked right opposite you and he backed out into your car?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have photographs of the damage to your car?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to see it. Okay. Now point out where the damage was.
Rear end to the rear end tire, right below, right here. Where you open the door,
I
like
see.
the rear tire.
Okay, on the side of the car.
Yes, ma'am.
On the driver's side of the car.
But the passenger back by the rear tire.
Yes, I understand. Okay. Any other photographs you want me to see?
If you want to see the whole car, yes, ma'am, I do. I actually got a better picture of where the damage is by the wheel. By here, you can see.
Okay, so according to you, the defendant pulled out of the spot his back bumper.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have the bill that you got to fix the car showing the $1,000 deductible that you had to pay?
Yes, ma'am.
So they charged you $2,500.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? And your deductible was $1,000.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sir. After this accident happened, according to what I read, the defendant got out of the car. You got out of the car. Did you have a conversation with him?
Yes, it's changed insurance information so I could get my automobile fixed.
And he gave you insurance information.
That was no good. Yes.
I know, I got it. But
Yes.
he gave you an insurance card.
Yes, ma'am.
Were you called to the police station, Mr. Maxwell?
No, I was not.
Well, how did you provide him with a corrected alleged insurance?
The police called me.
After the accident. Okay. So the police called you.
Correct.
And then it was determined that you had no insurance.
Right.
Right.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Closed captioning sponsored by. Want justice? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Now, the damage to your car, you say, was on the rear bumper.
Correct. And that was done prior to us owning the vehicle. Correct. Not from this incident.
Okay. And what part of your car hit the plaintiff's car?
I have no idea.
You have no idea.
The damage that he...
Try on this idea. Try on that you owe him for his deductible. You don't drive around in a car without liability insurance. Do you understand?
He hit me, Your Honor.
Liability. No, he can't have hit you on the side of his car unless it was snowing and he skidded into you. He skidded into you sideways. It didn't look like it was snowing.
If you look at the damage done to his car, it does not look like my car could have done that damage. If you look at the close-up dents, there's no way that bumper could have done that damage. I have pictures showing.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,000. We're done here. Out. Don't drive a car without insurance.
Yes, ma'am.
This case is concluded. Parties are excused.
And on the next Judge Judy.
What happened after you made the last payment?
Told me the car was gone and then hung up the phone.
What is wrong with you?
Nothing, no.
No, there's something wrong with you. What did you do with the money?
Next Judge Judy.
He also told me he was in an accident 2 weeks prior.